Hi, welcome to Pure Joy Tarot. Today we're going to do an astrological housing system spread. So there's going to be 12 cards, one in each house, to explain what's going on in the next month or so. So we'll start with house 1, which is your sun sign. So we'll start with Gemini today. You can have a look at your ascendant and make it fit with that as well. So we're going to do Gemini in the month of June to see what's going on in each of their houses. So we need a reading for the astrological house system for our Geminis. Gemini astrological house system. Gemini astrological house system. Oh, Gemini astrological house system. Gemini astrological house system. Gemini astrological house system. Okay. So that's house 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everyone likes 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we'll read the underlining card, which is the 2 of Swords. So in the month of June, Geminis, we have a way of looking inside on an intelligent thought wave pattern. So when every card is turned, if you can just adapt that everything is cool and calm, if you go inwards, you may find yourself protecting your heart. But sometimes we need to do that, to just think what we're going to do, what we're going to say. Let's have a look at house 1 before we go into that further. So house 1 is all about yourself being in house 1. So this card is the 3 of Wands. Very much about how you see yourself communicating. So that's why I think it's very important for you to go inside yourself, waiting, Geminis, for the right communication. It's like, has your ship sailed in? So with your personality in Gemini, you can have 2 ways of thinking. This is your sun sign of that. So communication is important, but because overall going inside, it's waiting for how you adapt that in June. So kind of a waiting game here. So that's interesting. Right, going on to house 2 is possessions, which is a great card to have in house 2. So you may find, moving up further to the end of the June, that possessions and materialistic aspects are important. You may find yourself so rich in that ability, so that's really good. You may find communication with an earth sign of a male dominant energy significant. So I think a Taurian, you may have a Taurian in your house, in your life right now, that's stubborn in communicating, which is fine, because that's the way they go about things a lot of the time. But I think there's also a sense of shielding as well. So if you're being shielded from an aspect here, then it's okay to shield that and protect yourself on an emotional level here with the 2 of Swords, protecting yourself. So it's in a good position in house 2 to have the King of Pentacles. So finding money coming in, new ways of money, new ways of dealing with your own practical money is essential now. So let's have a look how we communicate. So this is in house 3, which is all about communication. So we've got the 5 of Wands here. So you may find petty arguments going on. You may find just sorting things out, going through documents, throwing them away, going through statements, things like that. It is a way of dealing with stuff. So if you're waiting for new job opportunities, new communications from that, it's just a little bit of sorting out. If you're going through a new career, because maybe you're finding in two minds whether to change your career or not, here is a good aspect to sort things out. Sort your CV out, sort your documents. Also, it's funny, I'm almost seeing moving. I wouldn't be surprised if that's going on. So moving forward is almost about finding the right document and the right information to go. So if you want a more peaceful aspect in your 3rd house at the moment with the 5 of Wands, it's a good idea to have this clarity, taking a step back before you do communicate is essential. Now then, in your 4th house, which is all about sometimes mother, all about that communication and how you see things, is quite flush. So it's a very practical way of dealing with what has come in already. So that's why I think you can produce more of. So it's a prosperous time if you do sort things out. So just sorting little things out, bank accounts, maybe putting I was going to say putting all your eggs in one basket kind of thing, but making things like that you can see them before you manifest more. So what that basically means is, if you are in two minds of changing your job, changing your career, see what you've been really good at before you move on. So it's like putting out feelers. I'll just go there, just go there. And this is the way it's a good time to meditate on what you do want before that right communication. Or maybe you've done all that work already. You put your CV out and all those situations, and you're just waiting for the one to come back to you. But whatever it is, whichever one you decide to go on is definitely prosperous for you. So this is a really good card to have. Number 5. So in house 5, we've got, I was just looking at that. We've got how we relate to children, and also we've got pleasures and activities, it says on this clock spread. I usually see this is work related. I know that goes on. So you've got the 8 of Cups here. So it's moving forward in how you can relate to aspects. I think it's moving away from the 4th house, which can be all to do with maternal aspects. Well, it's definitely father here as well, but I reckon how you see yourself in your home life and how you've related to children and things like that, it's moving away from it. Sometimes our parents can kind of have these ideas of how they see us, but how they see life in general. So moving forward in an aspect is a good balance to move in your own direction. So waiting for that communication, seeing it inside of you before you move on, it is essential. So how you've been brought up, teaching yourself, teaching the values of, because I think Geminis at the moment in the month of June can pick out the richness from their parents of how they've learned to move forward in a practical sense, which basically means I think you've had a good groundwork to be able to see in this environment of growing up the value of money, the value of follow your heart. So if you haven't, then now is a good time, Geminis, to actually move forward on an emotional level, to actually find the yin and yang and bring to you all what you do have. I think you're very rich at the moment, in spirit, and going inside will actually allow that to do. We need some action, don't we? Right, number 6. So you've got a good healing aspect here. So, because this is about alchemy in the 6th house, it's about moving your emotions in your work related aspect. So sometimes it's the mundane type of work that you have to kind of sort out. But for you, Geminis, it's about going after your goal. This is a great card to actually have after this one, because it gives you the opportunity and more from the universe, God aspect, to do that. So while you're sitting here thinking what to do and being in two minds in June moving forward, this gives you the aspect, a taste, almost a taste of what could happen if you put into action moving forward, which there's a lack of action here. It's all inside, with which is probably an aspect of Geminis to actually do that. A lot of thinking, but it's all about the mixing and the mashing. So it's waiting for communication and sorting things out on the paper level and then going forward. So it's a good aspect. Now, favourite one of people, relationships. You've got the World here. So that's another great aspect coming in your 7th house, which is to do with relationships. A relationship with yourself is also equally important, I'm sure you know, Geminis. So, like I said before, the world is your oyster. If you allow moving forward on the aspects, I see a little bit of learning going on as well. So if you work, if you've already studied very, very hard, maybe you've got degrees, or maybe you've thinking of learning quite significantly for a career, change your career, something like that. I think within the 7th house, I know it's to do with relationships, but I think the relationship within yourself is very important. And actually I see a significant bonding with a Leo as well. So that's kind of a good aspect. And Aries as well. Yeah. But it's, instead of being still and stayed in a career that you may have been grounded in quite significantly, it's like you've come almost to that end of the cycle and finding that it might not have suited you completely. It is interesting. So that's good. Relationship wise, I think a fulfillment is definitely here, because this is the World. It's like an ending, but it's like finding your heart. If the communication within your heart is locked or guarded against at the moment, it's about opening up now. It's safe to do so. This 7th house is very strong for you in doing that. So there's a kind of intelligence coming through as well. Right, 7, 8. I always lose my place. Page of Wands in the 8th house. So this is a great time, you're not going to believe it, for travel. So traveling within your mind is good, but also new projects. So this this type of groundwork that you've been doing, possessions, communications, and in your home life, it is a good time now to go forward. It's like it's putting the feather in your cap and going for it, making things work on a level. So just thinking about children, if you're really in two minds about having children, June seems to be very child orientated for a lot of people. But for Geminis, the message here is, yeah, it's like things can be overwhelming, and that's why it's good to sit back and have a look at it. But also here, it's come, don't bite off more than you can chew. But I think that's nonsense. It's like going for it, it is good. It's like a good start, even if it's like a mountain to climb, because emotionally here, you see, it's very important to find what you want emotionally moving forward. 7, 8, 9. Right, this is about learning, spiritual things like that. So coming in emotionally, there is an opportunity for you. There's an opportunity on a level here that follows on from finding deep inside of you the pathways, what's gone. It's also about looking at the it ties very much into here. It's like, am I truly satisfied on an emotional level with what I have now? Is there something else coming into my life on an emotional level that I can actually accept? Do I want to see it? Do I want to have it? So it's putting your idea out there and bringing it back. So for you, it's almost like about being more open-hearted. If relationship area for some of you are really good and it's kind of complete here, which is opposite, though there does seem to be some waiting with a Leo though. Put myself off now. Right, okay, so that waiting, that giving is essential. It's about being, I would definitely adopt more of this healing aspect and mixing things together. Here is the opportunity. It's like giving you, here we are, spiritual with your higher self and things like that. You could do with really embracing that to make things more open. Right, your career, well, this is perfect for you Geminis. You've got the Ace of Cups, so newness is definitely coming. So it's accept what is on offer. So, oh, this is a great card to have. So being in two minds about changing things, starting new things. I love this card. It's right here at the top. It's in focus. It's right at the top. Coming in emotionally is really good. If you are thinking of new births, new projects, things like that, this is definitely a good way of seeing it. People see you now, Geminis, as being more open and more giving. So if you've felt a little bit, oh, that's too much in giving myself, now is a great time. It's demonstrating to you, you will be able to give and receive more. So that's really good. Definitely. Right, 11. So we've got the Magician here. So this is all about friends and how people see you and things like that. So with friends and aspects of that nature, there's a lot of times where you can make things happen. I think this is more to do with relationships though. drifting friends. I know that goes completely against this house, but making your relationship as a friend gives more opportunity to create magic. So there are happy times with your friends, good communication skills. I know we're waiting, but there's an aspect here of learning from those around us as well. So I think friendship's still going to be good, even though over here it says there's a little bit of communication, maybe a little bit of misunderstanding, but apart from that, that's okay. Right, so in the 12th house, we've got hidden things. Sometimes this can be more spiritual than this card, really, this house. So there's a balance about going after what you want. And I think for Geminis in June, if you do go emotionally after what you want, there is an aspect that there'll be a sense of peace on a high level that you can tap into. So there's a balance. So what I see with Geminis definitely is a clear way of moving forward with career. The completion emotionally brings about a cycle that is just about finished, but will give more joy and peace when starting again. If you pull down from what is your goal of manifestation, it will come down on a practical level. There isn't a lot of movement for you, a lot of action. The action for you is going to be more on a higher intelligent level to bring about more satisfaction on the emotional level. There is healing taking place. And when we listen to our heart for desire, there is a completion there to actually go forward. So even though it's very small, the newness, for in June you're going to be quite rich in the aspects of if you accept what is on offer. So once you sort out all that you need to do regards paperwork, regards how your parents have definitely seen emotionally. So you may find that one of your parents you felt wasn't giving you enough on an emotional level. Now is the time to give that to yourself, to receive it, and able to go after what you do want, because now is a great time to be refreshed and start again on a higher level. Definitely. Right, let's just see for yourself. Normally ask the client which one they want. I think let's have a look about this communication, because this communication, we did pick up a Leo and we did pick up a Taurus in this, so we need to know a little bit more about that. I think I'll draw 2 cards for the communication. Let's see what's going on. So this is for here, 1, 2, 3. So what we've got here is letting go emotionally. So I think that ties in very much with the what's on offer emotionally, as well as that parental figure that may not have given you emotional stability as much as you liked, and that's why moving forward emotionally is good. But the sorting out is important. So you may find that the mental control that sometimes we tell ourselves, oh, can't do that, won't do that, whatever, it is there. So this is all about the going inside of what is going on for you. So here's what we needed. The Four of Wands, to have a completion and participate in what needs to be going on. So on a practical level, just sorting those things out, sorting CVs out, sorting that's it's round. It's sorting out, oh, I was going to say sorting out the life. Oh, what am I trying to say? So it's a sort of the whole aspect of the manifestation, what you want, to do with communication needs to be complete, which it is. If you're trying to communicate with your spouse, partner, whatever, it's a little minor thing, but it's going inside of yourself to be able to produce what you do want. So that's interesting. So June looks a time for you to be moving from the past emotional, pulling back and going forward. So it's good. You've definitely got a richness about you which you can develop. So it's a newness, a healing aspect here of moving forward. So Geminans, I wish you well with that. Thanks for listening.